What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I just got done watching Captain America: A Brave New World with the family, and we have some thoughts. Okay, so guys, the movie is not as bad as I thought it would be. I've been watching a lot of non-spoiler review, even though now that I've watched the movie, you can't really spoil the movie because everything's kind of in the trailer.
You want me? Come and get me!
The only thing you're going to be disappointed about is the Red Hawk, who basically doesn't show up until the end of the movie. It's literally just the end of the movie. And the battle is quite satisfying. I do have to say that the battle is satisfying up until the how they resolve it, basically. But the battle is satisfying. You still have to suspend your disbelief around Falcon. I really think he's Falcon, not Captain America. But you do have to suspend your disbelief around, like, how he fights Red Hawk. But the battle was badass. So most of the things I'm going to talk about, you've probably already seen in the trailer already. So just be mindful that there might be mild spoilers in this movie review. The movie starts off with Sam Wilson. The one thing that I do like is that he's not regressing. I really hate the regressive character arc that we keep doing in Marvel. In this show, he battles something, and then at the end of it, we find out he's got the pep talk and he's able to accept what it is. And then we go to the next movie and he's battling the same thing. I really hate that trope. Even though he does have questions about whether or not he made the right decision, he wasn't as pitiful as I thought he would be. You know, when they do these like regressive character arcs where you have to go through the same thing again, I really don't like that. So here they didn't dwell too much on the whole should I be Captain America, because we've dealt with it in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. We've done that. What we did find him doing was that he looked a little bit more in charge, a little bit more in his own skin. He's more confident, which is really good. I like that in comparison to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So he's doing missions, and then the president calls him and says, look, can you help us bring back the Avengers? And then from that moment on, the movie turns into like not Civil War, Captain America, Winter Soldier type. So espionage, who's who, like mystery type stuff. There were parts in this movie that were literally shot for shot. So I'm already like not expecting a lot from this movie. So I'm watching it with the lens of everything I know about the movie from the time of the New World Order title and all that stuff. And of course, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I really didn't like that much. But the point at which I started to like the movie was actually Isaiah Bradley, who I actually liked. I hope I said the right name. I think it's Bradley. I actually liked him in the TV show. So the plot picks up when I started seeing Sam Wilson interact with Isaiah, and I loved the relationship that they had. I loved the fact that his name had been cleared. I loved that he was still around training Sam, even though Sam didn't have the serum. By the way, I was still hoping at this point that Sam was going to take the serum, but that's by the by. Eventually, Sam gets invited by the president, who just asked him to put the Avengers together, to like his inauguration or something. I can't remember what it was, but he invited Sam to the White House, and by extension, Sam invited Isaiah. And this is where the movie literally got good for me. Isaiah gets controlled by, you know, the same thing that happened with the Winter Soldier, and he tries to assassinate the president. All of this is already in the trailer, guys. So if you don't know about this already, it is what it is. And then from that point on, I saw an amazing acting from Isaiah. Well, the character, the person playing Isaiah, the battle around like having to go through the trauma of being locked up again, being falsely accused. I thought that was amazing. The way he spoke with Sam, the way he expressed that specific dilemma, I thought was really good. And at that point, I became invested in this movie. Like, remember, I'm coming in with low expectation. That's the part that sold the movie for me. And then from this point on, it was literally shot for shot Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier. Like, we had the same scene, like Sam going to investigate an abandoned army base or lab or whatever. Remember in the in Winter Soldier, where we finally saw this villain on the TV. I forgot his name. Is it Zola? Zola? Yeah. So similar to that scene, we had it here, and of course we have the new Falcon who's tagging along. I heard was going to be really annoying, but I thought he was fine. I thought he was fine in the movie. But anyway, so we had shot for shot stuff happening where Sam Wilson is like trusting in his friend, but nobody else believes him. Everybody else thinks he tried to assassinate the president, blah, blah, blah. So I really enjoyed from the point where Isaiah's character was being developed all the way to the assassination and then him going to prison and having to wrestle with the country basically betrayed him again. This has happened before. Like, we have experience firsthand of Captain America clearing his own friend, Bucky Barnes, from this similar situation. It's not even like you didn't know he's a super soldier. I'm sure that information is already known. So they could have, like, the government could have done a lot better here. And then obviously we got President Ross, who I didn't realize that that Harrison Ford is actually playing Ross from Civil War. I thought it was a completely different character, because it didn't click until even while I was watching the movie, and then I had to piece it together that, wait a minute, he's the one who signed the Accords, he's the one who put the rip between the Avengers, it's the same guy, but all of a sudden he's acting like he wanted to change. So I didn't believe him initially, I really didn't, but as the movie progressed, I was like, oh, maybe there's something here, maybe he is changed. Not only that, guys, I am not a massive Incredible Hulk fan. I love Incredible Hulk on his own, but I never really got into like his comics and his cartoons where we had the Purple Hulk, we had a Red Hulk, we had a Grey Hulk. You know, I never really got into it. So I didn't really know much. I did know who the villain was. I had already watched the 2008 movie, so I recognized that guy's face because I watched it recently. It's not like I hadn't watched it again. We watched it recently, so I recognized the guy straight away. I was like, wait, isn't that the guy from Incredible Hulk? I didn't realize that President Ross is actually the same character from Incredible Hulk, the one that keeps going after the Hulk. It really threw me through a loop when they revealed at the end that he's the dad of Betty, and I was like, wait, what? I was confused. Anyway, long story short, guys, we find out that the bad guy is the leader, who looks trash, by the way. That was terrible. The leader's supposed to have, he's meant to be green because he's a Hulk villain, and he's meant to have basically elongated head, showing that his brain is massive. They just made his head like pop, like a popcorn type head, and it just looks disgusting. So he looked really rubbish. They teased him in Incredible Hulk. I still remember it because we watched it recently, where his head was bubbling, but they gave him like these little, it was nasty. Anyway, it turns out he's the villain, and he is been given President Ross medication that had gamma radiation in it. This is where I started losing interest. I was thinking to myself, hold on, we've teased gamma radiation from Incredible Hulk. We've teased the Celestial that was coming out of the ground, which is from Eternals. And we've teased stuff from Captain America Winter Soldier. Where is Banner? Because guys, if you know anything about the Incredible Hulk, if you know anything about Banner in the comics or in the cartoon, again, I wasn't that deep into it, but I did watch some of it. He goes wherever gamma radiation is. He has gamma radiation on lock, right? Anytime it shows up, he knows where it is. He's got like a reader, he's always studying it, and that's one of the reasons he's moving around. Not only is he moving around to find inner peace, he's moving around to kind of stop anything that has to do with gamma radiation. So I was like, are they going to have a Bruce Banner cameo here? No, they didn't. So Banner never showed up for his own villain, right? Because this is not Falcon's villain. This is Banner's villain. And then it turns out that eventually whatever the bad guy leader had been given Ross is what then turns him into the Red Hulk. I gained interest once Red Hulk came, but I also lost interest because I was like, there is no way. They gave Sam Wilson the power of Wakanda tech, nanotech, and then obviously his Falcon wings, and then like the helmet. I don't know what was going on with the helmet. He does need a helmet, yes, but the helmet they gave him was trash. Anyway, he never takes the super serum. The super serum doesn't even come up. I thought they were going to do it in a way where, because he questioned himself at one point, like, oh, I should have taken the serum. So I was like, oh, maybe they're going to give him a serum at the end. Or maybe this plot is going to lead to him having to realize that actually I do need the serum. Never takes the serum. He's throwing the shield around with normal strength. That's impossible. And then when we get to the fight with the Red Hawk, I don't care how powerful Wakanda Tech is. There's no way you're taking a punch from the Hawk. We can give consolation for like the first punch, but when the Hawk is doing smash on you and the wings and the Wakandan whatever was blocking it, I thought, nah. But because the fight was good, the fight was actually good, I have to say, I let it ride. I thought, okay, this fight is looking good. Red Hawk is taking some damage and he's not being nerfed per se. He is nerfed, obviously, because you can't take a punch from Red Hawk. Come on, stop it. But the fight looked quite good. And as the fight progressed, it got more and more dangerous for Sam. And I was like, oh, okay. They're doing it really well. What ruined the fight was the end of it. He basically does the sun is getting real low on him. I thought, because President Ross had been speaking to Betty over the phone, I thought, because we had already had, by the way, spoiler, we had a cameo from Winter Soldier, Sebastian, and I thought he was going to stay and help because this is the same problem you face, and Captain America, Steve Rogers, never left your side but helped you. So this is your turn to help your friend, your frenemy, and solve the problem for him. No, he comes in for like 2 minutes, gave a pep talk to Sam Wilson, and then left. That was trash. It looks like, you know, one of those things where they just added at the very end, but it is what it is. I thought for sure Betty was gonna come and do the classic, because guys, I've said it before, and I'm not sure if I've put it on this channel, but I've said it before about how much I hate the fact that Black Widow was the person who was able to calm the Hulk down. No, but once we resolve the matter in a way where we've separated the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in other words, it's another timeline, it's a theory of mine, it's its own thing, and it's not necessarily, it's a mirror, but it's not necessarily the same thing from the comic. I was like, cool, fine, whatever. But then you do that, or you say that, and then you bring Betty back, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? So I thought Betty was gonna come back and be the one to do the whole Betty, even though he's not Banner. But she never shows up. Sam talks him down. He shrinks back to Harrison Ford, and then Betty comes in at the end to show her face. So all in all, guys, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, because I have heard how people were destroying this movie. I do see why they don't like it. It's really like a mixed bag for me. It's like there's some good things here that did actually genuinely get me interested in the movie, but as the movie progressed, I lost interest. And then I gained interest again once the Hulk, or the looming threat of the Hulk coming up. From that point till the end of the fight, I was like, oh, this is good. And then as soon as Sam Wilson does the talk, I was like, oh, come off it. And I lost interest again. Is it bad? Not really. I think we'll probably watch this movie at some point in a couple of years and go, it's all right. But right now, given what's happened and the way they like mixed Hulk villain and it was just really mixed. It was just too much. Like they were taken from everywhere. They took from Eternals, they took from Hulk, they took from everywhere, and it was just like, oh yeah. It was like a sweet and sour type thing. It wasn't great, but it's not terrible. Like I would watch this movie over, say, Captain Marvel or Black Widow. I would watch this over Black Widow. I didn't like Black Widow at all, because she's another one that, you know, he's doing stuff without having superpowers. I would watch this over Eternals, definitely. And I would watch this over, what's the other one? Captain Marvel 2, I believe? The Marvels? Yeah. So those 4 movies for me, and Captain America and the Winter Soldier, it was okay at the beginning and then it lost its flavor at the end. So I don't know whether I would watch this over that. But those 4 movies, definitely, I would watch this movie over. But it's not a movie that I'm looking to watch again. One of the ways that Marvel makes their money is that people watch their movies multiple times. Me and my family alone, when the movie was great, say, what was it? Endgame, Spider-Man, No Way Home, Deadpool, and Wolverine, like those 3 movies after the previous sagas, we watched multiple times, like at least 4 to 5 times we go to the cinema. And imagine if we're not the only people who do stuff like that, and there's like thousands of people who do the same. That's how they make their $1 billion. It's not because people went to watch a movie once. The fans go multiple times. So with this one, I'm not in a rush. I'm not looking to go and watch it again. That's my thoughts, guys. What did you think when you watched it? Did you enjoy it? Are you like me where you thought it was just mixed and it's not good, but it's not bad, but it's also not captivating? Or you like, oh, actually, no, this is a really good movie. You thought this was epic and people were being too harsh on it? I do think people are being too harsh on it based on what I've seen. I don't think it's that bad where people are like, oh, this is the worst movie ever. I don't think so. But I do think it's so badly put together that it just makes you disconnect after a while. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Before I go, guys, please check out my other channel, my relationship channel. I give advice on relationship and marriages for our young people to see if they can get married in this climate where everything is just man versus woman. And also I'll check out my other channel with my family. I watch movies over there. We do trailer reaction, gaming, and all sorts over there with my kids. Go over there, give us a like, comment, and sub. And if you enjoyed my review of Captain America 4, A Brave New World, give me a like, give me a sub, and leave a comment. Guys, I'll see you on my next review.